Welcome back to a new video. So I started out this workout with some high block snatches, which I changed from being a 3 set of 4 from the floor snatch to being these, and then I added some of the snatch volume to the next workout because they didn't originally have snatches. After doing the block snatches, I had some block cleans. I started to do the pig squat workout. I knew I wasn't going to finish it. I mostly just did it because the squats are going to be light anyway, and I figured that'd be a fun way to just do some volume in the squats without going very heavy. And I think that was about it as far as the training went. So for block snatches, I haven't done these above the knee in quite a while, which is the reason why I wanted to do them. I wanted to find the setup for them, which was with, I think they're 12-inch blocks, but plus the topper and the little mat cover thing there, the little rubber pad. I actually have enough, or it's like the perfect height to where I would have my 15-inch blocks before. So I do have that as a reference point, and I think I've done it before with clean and stuff, but it's nice to have it with snatches. I always like doing snatches from the high blocks. They always feel really good. My focus with these were just to get under them as quick as possible, not to worry about powering them as much, but just to try to have speed under it. And I'm surprised it doesn't have me do them more because I'm really slow under the bar, and these are good for working on speed under the bar. So they might be something that I add in from time to time because I really enjoy them, because you can obviously go heavy on them, but it's also a good technical movement to work on just going. I mean, it's like doing a hang snatch without having to pull it up off the ground and, you know, re-catch it and all of that. And they're just more fun than they're more fun than hang snatches, objectively, I would say. But they went well till I got to 110. I tried to double it. I missed it on the first one. Got it on the second one, then went up to 120, which I was just going to do for a single, but I missed it behind, and it kind of scared myself. I've never experienced a crack in my elbow before, like you would have a crack in any other joint. I thought there was a chance that my elbow exploded, but I didn't have any pain during or after, or even a couple days after, and I did the rest of my training. And I don't have any soreness or discomfort or range of motion loss or anything like that. So I think it truly was just like a joint crack, which in the position that I was in, because it was like as the bar was dropping behind me that it cracked, I was like, oh my gosh, I broke my it's like I'm done. I thought that was it, but then nothing happened. Sometimes there's weird stuff that happens with lifting when you train so much. You'll have like a weird feeling. I've had it it was probably like 2 months ago at this point, but I remember doing like a jerk or something, and I felt some sort of like twinge in my shoulder, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why it's happening. And it was in my right shoulder too. It wasn't even in my stinky left shoulder that's weaker than my right, or at least has been. I just remember feeling it on something. I was like, oh, that's weird. But when you lift enough, you just get weird feelings sometimes, as long as it's not something that's, you know, you don't have the inflammation or lack of range of motion or soreness or stuff like that. It's usually not too big of a deal, because sometimes, you know, a nerve gets pinched or something happens, or, you know, you just get yourself in just the right position to feel something weird. But thankfully, not injured in any sort. Like I said, after I did the block snatches, I did some block clean and jerks, and these were the original programmed in, which is one of the reasons I didn't mind doing the snatches before, because I could just do the cleans right after and not have to worry about setting something else on. I might add some high block snatches in to particular workouts if I have block work for the clean as well, since I do enjoy doing the movement. And if I have to set it up for one, it's easier just to have it set up for both exercises. Just kind of depends, but I would like to have them in. I think it's a good practice, or a good drill to work on speed getting under the bar, and they're fun to do. But after the weightlifting work, I had originally, I forget what it was, but it was really light squats. And I decided that I wanted just to do pig squats, and I, of course, didn't do the entire workout because I'm not strong enough to do the entire workout. I think the furthest I've ever made it on the pig squats is to like 140 or 150 kilos. But I made it to, I went in pounds, so I added 20 pounds for each set instead of the 10 kilos. So it was a little bit lighter in weight, but I made it to 84 kilos. It ended up being for like a set of 15, but it was just nice to get some like light volume in and just repetitions in. The next day, and actually even today, a couple days after, my quads were really sore from that, which is kind of nice to have, especially like on a deload week. It kind of forces you to be limited, and if you're gonna mess around with stuff and experiment, it's good to kind of have it on a deload week. It's something that I've never really done deload weeks, so I've never really thought of this potential benefit. But when you have a week that you know is going to be light, or it's supposed to be like a deload week, it's a good week to experiment with things to see a movement you haven't done in a while, or just to just do different things. Like in this workout, I had the high block snatches, which I haven't done in a while. The next session, I did some muscle snatches, which I haven't been programmed, I don't think, ever on the AI, but I wanted to have a light session the next day. So I changed, I think I was going to do like no hook, no feet or something the next day, but I changed it to be muscle snatches. And because it's a deload week, I don't mind making larger changes to what is originally programmed because it's going to be light stuff anyway. But when you have a deload week, it kind of gives you that flexibility to be able to experiment, because now I'm used to doing these block snatches again. So if I do them again, I'm not going from square one, because that's one of the things when you're doing a new complex, like the first couple times, it's just getting used to that complex and how it feels in order to be able to push the weight up or the reps or whatever you have to do with it. And once you do that first session, usually it kind of exponentially comes back to whatever level that you were at before. And I'm pretty confident that if I hadn't done like 10 sets of 10 bodybuilding stuff, that I would have done the 120 climb, because it didn't feel too bad and I was feeling good on the reps going up to that. And I don't know, I'm kind of excited, as I get off this deload into normal training again, to maybe add in a session of it maybe once a week, depending on what sessions look like during the week, because I think it'll just be a fun one to have in and a productive one. Same with cleans. I hate doing cleans from the blocks, but I think that it will be good to practice them for the same reason, just the speed under the bar, even though I hate them. But it'll be good for the technique, I suppose. But after the pig squats, I don't think I did anything else. Let me check back on the app. It was hilarious trying to add in all of the squat reps, because I added in every rep that I did with the squats. So I added like 20 kilos for 20 reps. The app was definitely bugging out because it didn't want to add weight, but it was because of the deload week, it didn't want to add weight. But it was certainly probably confused when I went from 20 reps with 20 kgs and just kept adding weights and reps. Actually ended at 84 kilos for 13 reps, so I went a little less reps than I thought. I think certainly would have been a lot. I think it would have been like 100 kilos for 13 if it was the normal workout. It definitely was lighter, but that was kind of the goal, to have it. But yeah, after that I didn't do anything. But as far as the bodybuilding day, now that I'm actually just looking at the app, I did some front foot elevated single leg split squats. So I show this a little bit in the mic'd up video that you see tomorrow, but it's not anything that's particularly like crazy or imaginative. But I had been doing those and been using it more so as a stretch than like a strength building exercise. And I was feeling it really good on that day. I don't know if I did the 10 sets of 10, but I certainly did more than 5 and 10 with each leg, because they were just feeling really good. So it's one movement that I think will be nice to add in for the lower body, because I don't really like doing lunges, and it's hard to motivate myself to do like squat jumps and stuff when I'm already like sore from training. But those actually feel good, and they actually work my legs still, and they don't make anything feel worse. If anything, they make me feel better. And if I'm feeling really bad, particularly bad, I can use it more as a stretch than an actual like lunging movement. And then I put it in here as concentration curls, but with the rack that you see, or the shelf in front of me, I tie a band around that, and I was just doing curls to my face, and then turned around, did tricep extensions, and then what I consider the glute bridge, just the band work with the glute stuff, and then some face pulls. So I did a ton of stuff, and that's why and you see, I lost my train of thought, but that's one of the reasons why my arms were extremely sore, because I did all of that. That might be a thing that I do on Mondays now, since it will be an easier session, especially during the school year, to have a day where I'm not worried about warming up for weightlifting. I'm just going out and just doing a bunch of bodybuilding stuff. I do have to be cautious of that. If I do get a bunch of that work in, that I do have to be aware that it might impact me in the next session if I'm going really heavy. But I think if I build a tolerance to it, I should be all right. But anywho, I don't know how much blank space will be at the end. If there's a lot, I apologize. Or if there's more of the workout, because the big squats took a lot of reps, I apologize for that as well. But I had a lot that I wanted to talk about, and wanted to talk about it before I forgot about it before editing the clips. Like I mentioned before, the next video will be a mic'd up one, so that will be an extremely long one. That one I'm talking about how training's going and all of that stuff. It's a really light session, so it's not entertaining in any sort for the lifting part. But I do kind of talk about the AI and more of my thoughts with it in a more extended format. So tune into that if you are interested. But anywho, that's it for this one. I'll talk to you all in the next video, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.